Hi everybody. All right, you just did that cute little eraser problem, and a lot of you probably made use of that visual. Good job, makes your brain stronger. And notice that you're able to buy 6 of those cute little erasers if each one is 20 cents and you only have $1.20. Now what you actually just did was a division problem with a decimal number in the dividend and a decimal number as the divisor. And it turned out to be just fine, especially with that visual there to actually understand what you're doing. So let's try it again with me. You have your visual sheet, all right? So first things first, our dividend is a decimal number. That's all right, right? Let's visualize it, okay? Let's go one more time visualizing it. So I got 2 1/10. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. You can too with me, okay? So I'm going to highlight 2. So that's this whole thing. I got 1. I got 2. And then I got, so there's my 2. And then I got 1/10. So is that just one little guy? No, it is 1/10. That whole line, okay? Which, as you can see, that's 21 tenths. And you can see that in this number, 21. 21 tenths divided into groups of 7 tenths. So now I'm going to pick up my pencil and I'm going to start circling groups of 7 tenths. In your mind, you might already have an answer. You might already know how many groups you're going to end up circling because you're really thinking, I have 21 of those tenths and I'm dividing it into groups of 7 of those tenths. Look at that. This problem has now become this. There aren't any decimals even in here. Isn't that awesome? Because we're thinking in tenths. So you may already know an answer because you know what number times 7 gives you 21. And it's a whole number because 21 is a multiple of 7. So I go ahead and I circle my first group of 7 tenths. I got 1. Can I get another? Yeah, I can. There's another. 2. Can I get one more? Yeah. It's perfect. It goes in evenly, and I'm able to make a total of 3. And look at that. 3 doesn't even have a decimal with it. It's 3 whole groups of 7 tenths in the number 2 1/10. Now, the decimal is a ghost right now, and it's hanging out in the number 3. You just can't see it. It hangs out at the end, okay? All right, let's move onward now and really get down to business because we're going to now see this using the algorithm, okay? And it'll be just fine. I have a little song for us for that.
Let's get down to business.
All right, let's get down to business. All right, here we go. On your paper, we're going to go ahead and make our division house. We're putting our 2 1/10 on the dividend, and the divisor was 7 tenths. Now you're used to just bringing up that decimal and then starting in your steps of the algorithm. The thing is, there is a rule. When we are dividing by a decimal number, if our divisor is a decimal number, we have to keep in mind one rule. And that rule is this. Go ahead and pause the video and read that at least 3 times, okay? Take that in and then come back when you're ready. All right, yeah, the divisor must always be a whole number. So when we look at this, it's not a whole number right now. So we're going to have to do something. We got to move that decimal. So I'm going to take it. Which way am I going to move it? If I move it this way, it's going to be 0.07 or 700. That did not help. We need to make it a whole number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move it to the right 1 spot. Technically, math-wise, that means I'm taking 7 tenths and I'm turning it into 7, which means I multiplied that by 10 in order to move that decimal. So when I do that to the divisor, I got to do the same thing to the dividend. You can't leave the dividend out because the dividend's looking over at 7/10 and like, what the heck is happening to you? Oh my gosh. So then it's like, what about me? So we got to do the same thing. We got to multiply this by 10. So if we multiply that by 10, the decimal moves to the right one spot. Okay. So now my decimal, trying to erase this part, my decimal is now at the end. And if this is too messy for you and you don't like all those loops and everything in your problem, you can rewrite it over here. And I know now that this is 7 in my divisor, and I know now that this has become 21, and my decimal is at the end. And if it's at the end, you could leave it off, but if it makes you feel better, just leave it there and bring it up, okay? And now I have my 2 place values that I'm dealing with, and I can go forth and use my algorithm, okay, to solve that problem. If you're okay with all these loops, you can go ahead and keep them there, bring up my decimal, and just keep going, okay? I kind of like how it's neater over here on the right, so I'm going to use this one. So I go ahead and I just do as usual, 2 divided into groups of 7. Can I make a group of 7 with the number 2? No. So I got 0. Now I multiply. Now I subtract. Now I'm done. No, I'm not, because I have one more place value to deal with. So I go ahead and move it over, see what it is. It's a 1. And what do I got to do? I got to bring it down with what I was left over with. So now I have 21 divided into what? Groups of 7. And oh my gosh, isn't that what we did when we were looking at the visual? Our 2 1/10 divided by 7/10, we noticed we could just think of it as 21 divided by 7 because we were thinking in tenths. Oh my gosh, this turns out to be the same thing, 21 divided by 7, which is 3. And 3 times 7 is 21. I subtract, left with nothing. Problem is done. How awesome is that? Now, doing it one time is not going to make you a pro at this. So you gotta just keep on trying and keep on going, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at another one together, okay? Ooh, it's almost Christmas. I thought, why not get him in here from Home Alone? Because why would he be doing that? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I got decimals all over the place. What am I gonna do? It's okay, remember, rule is divisor must always, 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 always be a whole number. So don't worry. Let's just move that decimal. Okay, let's do one more together. So I got 41 8/10. Now, are we going to use a visual on this? Heck no, I am not, because I do not want to color in 41 and then 8 more tenths. So that would be a total of 418 tenths. And then I'd have to then go back and find 2 2/10 and circle groups of those, and it is going to take forever. But you know what? No, we're not going to, okay? No. So I'm going to go ahead, erase what I had before, and we're going to go algorithm, okay? You go ahead and set it up. What's going on the inside? What is going on the outside? What's our dividend? What's our divisor? Go ahead, set it up.
Let's get down to business.
Okay, let's get down to business. You're probably ready. You've probably been ready for a long time. All right, we got 41 8/10, and we're dividing it by 2 2/10. Okay, now we know if we were to draw that visual like I just told you, you'd be coloring in 418 tenths, and then you would be circling groups of what? 2 2/10, which is 22 tenths. So we can really think of this problem like this. And why is that? Because our number one rule is our divisor has to be a whole number. So I'm going to move that decimal. And mathematically, how can I do that? By multiplying this number by if I wanted to move it over one time, by 10. So I moved that over. I multiplied it by 10. But who's looking at that divisor going, what about me? The dividend. So I got to do the same thing. So I go over here, I multiply you by 10. Don't worry, you're going to become bigger too. Okay? Yay! All right, now my decimal is at the end. It won't always be at the end, but in our case, it's turning out that way. I go ahead and bring it up. I put my place values, and I go forth and divide. Okay? So let's do this. I'm going to use my little sticky note so I keep track of the numbers I want to look at. If you don't want to use a sticky note, don't. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and have 4 divided into groups of 22. Can I make a group of 22 with the number 4? No. So I got my first 0. 0 times 22, 0. Subtract. Now I'm done. No, I'm not. I got to bring something down. What is coming down with the 4? The 1. All right, now I got 41 divided into groups of 22. Can I make a group of 22 with 41? If I have 41, can I circle a group of 22? Yeah. Can I circle another group of 22? 22 and 22? That's 44. No, I can't get another one. Close, but I can't. So I can only make one. So 1 times 22, 22. Now be careful when you subtract. Don't let this mess you up. Because 1 minus 2, you're not going to put a 1 there. Okay? We got to regroup. There we go. Now it looks better. And now I got 19. I go ahead and I'm done. Nope. What do I got to bring down? That 8. All right, I got one more division to do, and I am hoping that this is a multiple of 22. Now, no, I don't want to list multiples of 22 over there. That's going to take me forever. So I'm going to go ahead and think. 22 times what gets me close to 198? Now, I see the first 2 digits is 19. So I have a 2 here, and I'm like, 2 times what gets me close to 19? 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 9 is 18. So should I go with that? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go with 9. 2 times 9, 18. 9 times 2, 18 plus 1. Oh my God, that worked out nice. So what the heck do we put up here? How many 22s? 9 of them. And that equaled exactly 198. And we're left with nothing. All right. Okay, we just did 2 problems. Now, you're going to need to do more? Yeah, step it up, all right? Good luck, go practice. The visuals are always there if you need them, okay? Remember, they make your brain more powerful, so you might as well try and use them sometimes. And really get yourself to get into that algorithm, because the first topic of 6th grade, boom, you're doing that in lesson number 3.